Today I'm cooking with quinoa. Quinoa is actually a seed, and it's called a pseudo cereal. It's not from the grass family, so it's not like wheat or rice, but it's similar. It's high in protein, and it's really good for you. What I'm going to make is shrimp and mushroom quinoa risotto. So the first thing I need to do is make a clam broth. So I went ahead and chopped everything up. I got the carrots, onion, 1 carrot, half a red onion, and then a celery stalk, a bay leaf, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. So I'm going to throw that in 8 cups of water right over here. And I'm also going to add my little neck clams. It called for 2 pounds, but apparently they sell them by the each, is what the guy said. So it ended up being about 20 clams. I'm going to go ahead and rinse those real quick. And this is going to make the liquid that I'm going to add to the risotto, for the quinoa, to make the risotto later. So I want to make sure it isn't sandy. Alright. And then I'm going to go ahead and let that come to a boil, bring it down to a simmer, and then let that simmer for 30 minutes. And while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and chop everything else up so I'm ready to go. And now that it's done, I let it simmer for 30 minutes. I need to strain it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now that that's all strained, got this great clam broth. I'm going to add that back to the pot. So what I'm going to do first is, I've got the oil heating. I went ahead and peeled my shrimp, and I patted them dry with some paper towels. So now I'm going to take a teaspoon of salt. If it'll come over here. Yep, there we go. And just lightly sprinkle the shrimp. So I figure it's probably easier if I just bring you over to the stove and let you see what's going on. So I have a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil heating right here. To that I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. Move that around a little. And I'm going to wait till it's all melted and it stops being foamy. Because that way you know it's incorporated. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then I'm going to add my shrimp. I'm going to cook these for about 3 to 5 minutes until they're almost done, and then transfer them to a large bowl. So those are looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and get a slotted spoon and transfer those to a large bowl. You don't want to take away any of the liquid that's in the pan, because as you're cooking all the different things in stages, you're kind of making another broth right here. And you might drop one. All shrimp. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of butter. And I'll let that go ahead and melt. And to that, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I use sea salt. I like the flavor a little better than regular salt. I did use regular table salt for the shrimp just because it's smaller granulated and it coated the shrimp a little better. Alright, while that's melting, earlier I went ahead and sliced up all my mushrooms. I have about a pound of white button mushrooms, about a pound of cremini mushrooms, I think that's how you say it, and then about a 1/4 to a 1/2 pound of baby bella mushrooms. And I'm going to go ahead and throw all these in. That's a lot of mushrooms. In case you're wondering, the white button mushroom cremini looks like that, and the baby bella. Now you're going to cook these for about 5 minutes until they all soften. And it might start to stick to the bottom a little bit. You want to go ahead and take your spoon, spatula, whatever you're using, and just scrape the bottom to make sure you're getting up any of that good flavor. Now that those are cooked down, I'm going to go ahead and throw them in the bowl with the shrimp. And I'm left-handed, so you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. And go ahead and mix that all together. Now I'm going to add my last tablespoon of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Go ahead and swirl that around a little bit. And then I'll throw in the last 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 a red onion, thinly sliced, a little less than 1/2 a red onion because I dropped some of it. It happens. And these are all going to separate as they cook and sweat. There we go. And I'm also going to add 2 cloves of garlic. Alright, so before you add the quinoa, you want to rinse it 3 times, and in between each rinse, you want to pour it through a sieve.